Hi 4-H friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a few videos specific to certain parts of your record book. And this is going to be a little more detailed than we had in the overall video. So the first topic is going to be your 4-H story. Now we had shown you that there is a 4-H story guide that's on our website. And this is just a real brief outline of what we'd like you to include in your 4-H story. Basically, the story is yours. You can be as creative as you want to be. You can follow the guide and just answer the questions, and that's also adequate. But the thing about your story is we just want to be sure that you're answering the question of what happened this year in 4-H and what will you remember about this year. So the 4-H story guide says it's just an essay about your 4-H experiences. It says be creative, and the guide then has 7 topics here that you can choose from. It says to introduce yourself, tell us your age, what your interests are, about your family, where you live, where you go to school, and when and why you joined 4-H. So that first bullet would be really important to us if this is your first 4-H story, because we won't know these things about you, and we like to get to know you a little bit more by reading your 4-H story. If you're doing your 4th or 5th or 10th or 11th record book, you don't really have to tell us all about your family again and that kind of thing, because it's in other stories, but it's a good place to start. This is the big one. The second point is, what were the highlights of this 4-H year? And so a highlight is something probably new and different. Maybe you took a new 4-H project, or maybe you did really well on a project. It was something that you entered in the fair. You might have done a new trip, maybe went to 4-H camp, or maybe you did the public speaking contest for the first time. You might have gone to a state or even a national event. So basically, it's just kind of, as you look back on what happened this year, what was the highlight for you? It can be something that's not related to a project at all. The highlight for many kids might be that you did something with recreation. Maybe you went bowling as your club, or maybe you had game night, or just whatever it is that you look back on and think, oh, that was fun. I want to remember that I did this year. Then you can talk about your 4-H projects that you carried, what you did, if you had problems with them, things that you might have made, or skills or knowledge that you learned. So this is a little bit, if you want to outline one thing about each project, that's fine, but definitely it's a good time to just write a sentence or two if you had good luck or if you had bad luck. So it's just something to remember. If you had other 4-H activities, picnics or field trips, or just anything else that you did in 4-H, you can talk a little bit about what you did at your club meeting, if you made a snack or something, or if you participated on a committee. And then the last 2 are a little more thoughtful. We do ask you if you want to explain how 4-H has helped you become a better leader, a better citizen, or how you've helped others in the club. A lot of times clubs try to have at least one service project each year. It can be picking up trash, or collecting money for something, or donating food to the animal shelter. There's lots of projects that are service projects. And so if you helped in one of those, we just like to hear how you felt about that and what you did to help. And the last one is tell what 4-H has meant to you. And so if there's a way that a 4-H project has helped you gain skills towards your goal in life, as what your job might be, or going to college, or going to a technical school, or farming, or whatever it is that you're thinking you want to do. We'd just like to hear a little bit about how you chose your 4-H projects and why. And it could be if you're making money on a project like a market animal, you could say that you're saving that for your first car, or you're going to be saving it, for college tuition in the future or whatever. So anyway, it's a little bit about how you see 4-H affecting your future. And the last notes are here that your 4-H story can be handwritten, or you can do it on the computer and print it out. But younger kids, a lot of times our record book reviewers, kind of expect it to be handwritten because usually they aren't that great at typists yet. But it can be however you want it to be. But most important is, be creative, be yourself, and, be original in your 4-H story. It doesn't have to be long. A couple paragraphs is fine, just a few sentences. But once you answer all these questions, usually it's about a page long, but we're very flexible on the length of time. So, as I said before, we read every story every year. So we look forward to hearing about your adventures in 4-H when you do your 4-H story.